welcome to Q&N Network, and today I'm here with
Cosette.
Alright, Cosette, and we're going to talk about her brand. So what is your brand, and can you tell us about it?
Okay, so pretty much what my brand started off as was a fitness brand. I started competing in bikini competitions, and that kind of led me into a lifestyle of health and fitness, which later led to veganism as I learned about health and fitness. So now throughout my social media and all of my platforms, I promote veganism and more of internal health and wellness, because before I was so focused on external, how I look, and I realized that my internal health was lacking. So now I'm just focused on internal health.
Yeah, because a lot of people, I've seen people who are so focused on their outside looks and the muscles, and sometimes they feel horrible on the inside.
Exactly.
When did you first start the bikini competitions? How old were you?
19.
What made you get into that? Did somebody bring you on to that, or you just...
Kind of. So my first trainer that I was actually training with, he got me into working out, and then I realized he was amazing, and I started seeing results fast and hard. I mean, I went from 0 to 100 very fast, and I wanted to do something with it because my physique looked amazing, and I've never looked like that before. It was like, oh my goodness,
It was so different for you.
So different. I've never in my life even seen my body look remotely like that. And so then my friend told me about competing. So I was like, okay, I already look like this, why not? So I went through the process of competing, but it put such a strain on my body. My body fat was so low that I was having hormonal issues. I didn't even have my period for 6 months, and which can lead to infertility, which is terrible. It's obviously not what I want. But things like that were happening to me, and I obviously didn't want to stay like that. So I competed 3 times, and then after that, right after my competition, I gained 30 pounds like this because you're just so skinny. I mean, I had an 8-pack. It was crazy. But then after, you start to feed your body. Before, you weren't feeding your body really, so you gain weight really quickly. So I went from having an 8-pack to being 30 pounds heavier. So I went through that extreme change, and I freaked out because I've never been that heavy. So then I started looking into more internal because I kind of totally messed up my internal health by doing that, and now that's kind of become my focus. So I've met in between that 8-pack and that gaining 30 pounds, and I've stuck in between, and I'm obsessed, and I feel amazing. Exactly, and I want everyone to feel like that. So
wow. So with the competitions, are they yearly or?
Kind of whenever you want, because we're in South Florida, they have them more often, almost every weekend actually, which is crazy. So you kind of just pick which ones you want, and you prep about 12 to 16 weeks before, and you're pretty much on a chicken, vegetable, and rice diet. You eat 6 meals a day, and that is all you eat, and you work out hard. I was working out 2 to 3 times a day, doing 45 minutes of cardio, an hour and a half of weightlifting. It was psychotic.
Yeah, I've heard, I know a guy, he's into weightlifting now, and he's been doing it for a few years, and he had to take a break because he was like, it was taking over my life. He's like, I was in the gym all day, I couldn't eat much, I could only eat a few things, but I had to keep eating, and
forcing yourself.
Yeah, and even now, he's so sick of eating chicken.
Oh my gosh, I never want to look at chicken again. I mean, I'm vegan now, but still.
Yeah, he's so sick of chicken. We're at a family function, and he's like, I can't eat any more chicken.
Yeah, I don't know why that's the staple diet. It's just the staple protein that everyone eats. It's the cleanest protein. I use quotations because now being vegan, I learned it's not clean at all. But at the time, that's what we were eating.
Can you clarify for some people what being vegan is?
Sure. So vegan, pretty much, you have no meat, no dairy, no honey, eggs. Pretty much anything that comes from an animal, I don't eat. So
no meat, no dairy,
no eggs, no honey. Yeah, that one's always forgotten about because they're like, oh wait, honey does come from an animal. I mean, it's an animal that's pretty big, but it's still an animal. So, but there's alternatives to everything. I have agave instead of honey, which is the same difference. So,
I've heard people say that about being vegan. It's not that bad once you finally get into it. So did someone introduce you to being vegan? Because a lot of people don't understand how to start or what things to replace certain things with. Like how you say you replace the honey with that. A lot of people wouldn't even know what to do. So did someone help you into being vegan?
Yes. So the person that got me into the bikini competitions, ironically, was vegan. And
wow.
he would always talk to me about it, and I was always telling him to shut up because I didn't want to hear it. I didn't care. I didn't think it was important.
Right.
I would eat some of the food that he would give me sometimes, and I loved it, but it was just not a lifestyle I cared about.
Right.
I cared about looking amazing, and that in my mind, what I knew, my knowledge was chicken, rice, and vegetables. That was my extent of knowledge. I knew nothing about nutrition.
Yeah.
And through the years, I kept working out with him, and he was always throwing facts at me here and there, and I was absorbing it. And after a while, I was like, all right, let me try to slowly cut out the things that are the worst for you.
Yeah.
So at first, I cut out red meat because red meat is just the worst. And then after that, I started cutting out more meats, dairies, eggs, but everything was a slow transition.
Yeah.
I always tell everyone to not do it. When people ask me, oh, what's the one tip you would give me about going vegan? It is, do not do it all at once.
Yeah, don't go cold turkey.
No, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I've heard people say, like, you cannot go cold turkey. It's a process.
It's a transition, yes.
You do, like, little bit things at a time. And do you feel like you found things, because I feel some people are afraid of going vegan because they feel it's going to be gross, or it's not going to taste as good. Is that, like, a thing? Or you can find, like, replacements to kind of...
You can find replacements to everything. And it's taken me, now I've been vegan for 11 months, and it's almost taken me those 11 months, which is crazy. That's such a long time. People don't want to take that long to learn about it. And now, because of the 11-month just knowledge trip and experience that I've gone through, I actually created an ebook, The Beginner's Guide to Veganism, and that maps out everything. Yeah. So chicken, here is the alternative. Ham, here is the alternative. I mean, it dummy proofs everything because it took me almost a year to figure all this out. So for my friends who are genuinely interested, I give them this book, and it literally maps out everything. So it's a much smoother transition, and it's not going to take 11 months to go through.
Because that definitely sounds like a process.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it's just learning. I've never learned so much in my whole life than I have in these 11 months.
But I bet your body just naturally feels so much better.
So good. Oh my goodness. I'm naturally thinner.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I don't have to watch what I eat. Yeah. I can eat vegan junk food, a cheeseburger, right?
Yeah.
And I can make the same cheeseburger that tastes the same but vegan, and it's healthy.
Right.
It's crazy. So I'm not restricting myself, because I obviously was when I was competing, eating the chicken, rice, and veggies, very restrictive. Yeah. If I would want to go out with my friends, I can't go out and drink 1,000 calories of alcohol. It wasn't in my diet. And now I can go and do that because the food that I eat is so healthy. Even if it's junk food, it's crazy. Wow. So I really like that more. I'm not restricting myself.
So for a person that is exercising on a regular basis, so would they still have to be restricted to a specific diet, or can they just eat anything since technically they're vegan and continuously work out?
It depends. So there's kind of two types of veganism, or vegans. You can either be a plant-based, like whole food vegan, which is more along the lines of eating your fruits and vegetables. You're very heavily based on fruits and vegetables. And then there's the junk food vegan, which they always joke around and say, trust the junk food vegan, they're not in it for health, they're in it for the animals. Which is great, because to each their own.
Right.
But it's not like the healthiest. Yes, it's much healthier than you eating a meat-based diet, but it's still not the healthiest. So what most vegans do is kind of mix those two types of veganism
cut back
together.
On the junk and as much of the meat, and add in a little more of the fruits and vegetables.
Exactly.
So
more of like a plant-based diet.
Yeah.
Because that's when it's starting to clean your body, and that's just what is healthiest for you. And you'll feel as you start eating more plant-based, your body feels amazing. I have more energy.
Yeah.
I just feel good. I was very sluggish before I was vegan.
God, yeah.
I was having 5 cups of coffee a day. Yeah. And I felt disgusting. I never felt good about myself. I always felt ugly. Like I could have an 8-pack, but I felt disgusting. Like my body just felt blech. Yeah. Now, my body feels so good. I could be any weight right now and being vegan, I just feel so good. And it's boosted my confidence, because inside, I feel amazing.
I think people should definitely look into it more. I feel like now today a lot more people are realizing that health is very important.
Very.
I see a lot more people my age and even older adults, they are starting to try to cut back on like things as fast food, and they're starting to see the difference because when you are consuming all those bad things and then you change a little bit and try to go the healthier route, you do feel the difference in your body, how the grease and all that stuff, how it makes you just feel so like it's pulling you down, and then once you release it, you feel more like in control of your body a little bit.
100%.
So I think a lot more people are starting to realize that.
Definitely. I mean, even if you look at things like stocks, right now, one of the most fastest growing stocks is a vegan stock. It's the fake meat called Beyond Meat. And it's so popular. They're now, I don't know if you heard, but in Burger King, they have a vegan burger. At Subway, they're starting to have vegan meatballs in the meatball sub. They're also at Dunkin' having the vegan sausage. So it's expanding, it's growing everywhere right
Which
now.
Which is a good thing.
100%. I love it. It's
Which
amazing to
really
go out and have vegan options everywhere.
Yeah.
Because that's not as convenient as a meat-based diet.
I've been to a few places where I've seen but I've only seen it in like major restaurants, like when you go out to a restaurant with a family member or anybody, there I've seen like vegan options.
Yes.
But I feel like now that they're starting to expand and be in more restaurants, people can now be more aware and they can learn more about it, because a lot of the times I honestly feel that people aren't taking the healthy route, or they aren't willing to try going vegan because they don't know about it.
Yeah, and it's not convenient.
Or there's no one to tell, and that's the thing. Yeah, like you said, it's not convenient. A lot of restaurants they want to push the bad stuff, basically.
100%, yeah.
So that's the thing.
That's what sells. And right now, which is cool, I have an app called Happy Cow, and you go on Happy Cow, and let's say I'm going out with you, and you're not vegan, or 100% vegan, anyone that's not. I go on the app, and then I can click vegan, and the only 100% vegan restaurants, or I can click vegetarian. So it's like vegan restaurants or vegetarian restaurants that have like dairy, but you can still go and just ask for it without the dairy. So that's kind of like an in-between. Or most of my friends who aren't vegan, I click veg options, and it goes all the regular places that have vegan menus. Or
so it's really giving you a bunch of options.
Now it is, yes. Wow. Even like Yard House, which is an American steakhouse, which you would think is going to be the last place they have vegan food. They have the biggest menu ever, like literally this big, of vegan options.
Wow.
It's ridiculous. And it's crazy because they make so much money off of that. And as far as a business standpoint, veganism is becoming so popular. It's the trend right now. And for a restaurant to not offer vegan food, they're just losing out on money.
Wow.
Because it's just becoming so popular right now.
That's true. So, I feel like they all should kind of push that.
At least a couple things.
A few things.
One or
just
two.
for the people that are vegan.
Definitely.
So what do you feel, would you say there's a difference between being vegan and a vegetarian?
Yes. So vegetarian, you're just cutting out the meat. And a vegan, you're cutting out the meat and the dairy and the honey. So it's 100% animal products. And veganism, a lot of people get it mixed up because also, if you're I wouldn't say legit vegan, but like 100% vegan, you don't even use products that come from animals or that are tested on animals. Personally, I use Arbonne. I know I talked to you about that. They're an 100% vegan and cruelty-free company. So my skincare is vegan, my makeup is vegan, all my nutrition is vegan, everything is vegan. Because if you put something, let's say foundation, has dead animals in it, and if you put that on your skin, within 22 seconds, it enters your bloodstream. Wow. So even if you're not eating the legit animal, you're still getting it into your bloodstream. You're still getting those chemicals that are being pumped into those animals, and you're getting it into your body and your bloodstream.
I didn't even know that about makeup.
I know. You know what? Most people don't, and I didn't know it until a year ago. People are always like, "Oh, you're just trying to show off and be annoying." Like, no. For 21 years, I didn't know any of these things.
Right.
Now, just recently, I've been learning about it, and that's what's great about veganism is it's just a learning process. You learn these things every day, and the more I learn, the harder it is to go back. I just want to be vegan forever. I want to have vegan children. Like, just veganism, everything. I'm obsessed. It's just, when you learn so much, you just can't look back. There's too many facts now, for me.
I feel like it's definitely something, it's interesting to learn about it as well.
Definitely.
I don't feel like it's some people feel like, oh no, just forget about it. But I feel like once you've got even maybe 10 times more interested.
It's interesting. It's something that's newer, and research is coming out about all of these things. And I don't know, I just always like to be up to date on everything that's going on as far as health and wellness, because that's kind of my niche.
Yeah.
So that was just the newest thing to learn, I guess.
Do you feel like social media is the biggest marketing tool?
For me personally.
For you, your brand.
Exactly.
And being vegan.
I like to post more pictures and videos, and I feel like right now Instagram is the way to go. And within my age group right now on my social media, I would say 80% are between the ages of 18 and 34, and those people are on Instagram. If your age range is lower, people are using TikTok right now. I know that's like super new, but people are using it for business. People think it's just for the little like dancing videos or funny videos. No, do you know Gary Vee?
Oh yes, I listen to Gary Vee.
I'm obsessed with him. I saw him speak in person.
Really?
And he goes, you are an absolute idiot if you are not utilizing TikTok right now. Coming from a man who's what, 30s, almost 40 maybe, 30s, 40s, he's not someone who you would traditionally think to use TikTok. You're thinking of it as a kid platform, a child platform, but it's the way to go right now.
Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yes.
Is such a smart guy.
Amazing.
If you guys have not watched him, he's really good. And he speaks a lot about promoting your brand and growing your own way and everything. He's amazing. I've been watching Gary Vee for a while.
Right? I mean,
he's
honestly, he's the best.
Like the most motivational person that you can go like on YouTube or anything and just listen to him. He will
blow your mind. He talks about everything as far as social media presence or business growth. When he was a child, he grew how he started. I don't know if you know, he grew his parents' wine company.
Yeah.
From just like a couple $1,000 a year, multi-million-dollar business.
Now.
I mean, ridiculous. I think it's the Wine Club or something as far as that. I forgot the name, but crazy. So he started doing that, and now he just grows businesses for a living, and he tells you straight in your face, he will curse in your face.
Yeah,
he's like,
so
get your crap together and just work.
He's such a real guy. He does not
so real.
It, but I got to see him in person one day.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it was life-changing.
Yeah, I really want to. So you say you've been doing this since you were 19, so about a few years.
Yes.
And what do you want others to take from it?
From health and wellness or veganism, or both, I guess? Both? Okay. Workout. I know that's very broad, but I kind of like it being broad because I'm not someone to say you need to work out 6-7 days a week.
Yeah.
I think as long as you are up and you are active and you are moving, it does wonders for your body. And when people are like, oh, I don't like to work out, you know what? If you have a dog, go walk your dog around the neighborhood every night or every other night.
I tell my grandmother that. Like, I'm like, just go for a walk up the road, come back, go for a swim for like a few minutes, because I feel like every little thing helps.
100%.
And I see now a lot of older people that are like 50s, 60s and up, they're trying to go that route a little more. They're taking walks a little more because they're starting to, you don't want to be elderly and, you want to be as healthy and up and able to move as much as possible. So
yes.
I definitely see that.
Definitely being active, I guess not necessarily working out, so being active. The daily recommendation is 30 minutes a day. Yeah. I mean, it seems a little bit to me, like a little bit of time, but to some people it's a lot. Even let's say you're watching TV during commercials, maybe walk around your house or like anything. I mean, it's so easy to do that. My friend has little children and she'll do push-ups while a child is sitting on her back. I mean, just a couple of things. It really doesn't matter. Whatever you can do, just do it. And then also as far as, that's I guess like the health and wellness side, as far as the veganism side, I mean, in a perfect ideal world, I want everyone to be vegan. I think it's the way to go. But to each their own. I don't believe that everyone has to be vegan. I'm not against you if you're not vegan. I just love it. But definitely, if you can, try to substitute some things here and there. Like you said, it's the little things. They really do make a big difference. So if you just use maybe like a nut milk and you still eat everything else regular, great. Or maybe cold cuts. Cold cuts are probably the worst things that you can eat. They have the most carcinogens, which are cancer-causing agents. Cold cuts and different meats are actually the same level as far as carcinogens go as cigarettes. So you have to think like, okay, I'm not smoking cigarettes, I'm healthy, but red meat is on the same level as far as getting cancer. So those are little facts to take into consideration. Or maybe, oh my gosh, a lot of my friends on social media, they do Meatless Monday. That's my favorite thing. You just don't have meat for one day out of the week, and it helps with your health so much. And that's not the craziest change in the world.
It's really not.
So, I mean, just little things, the same with fitness.
I've seen a person who cut back on meat for he cut back on meat for 30 days.
Okay.
And he immediately saw weight loss and results and everything else in his body. Yeah. And I was like, wow.
It's
just
crazy.
And he told everybody, he's like, I didn't change a drastic diet. And he was like, but I told myself to cut back on meat. And I feel a lot of people consume meat a lot.
I mean, it's a standard American diet, which is called SAD. That's the acronym for it. That's crazy. Right. But no, I mean, we're told growing up too, you eat meat with pretty much every meal. When you're going to school and you're learning the food pyramid or you're learning the food plate, telling you the proportions, meat is always on there. And it's crazy because fast forward maybe 10 years since I've learned that, it's completely flipped. Yeah. So all these years you're learning that you need to eat it, and now you're learning otherwise. It's so weird for people. So they're trying to overcome that. Exactly. I mean, I ate meat for 21 out of 22 years of my life, so obviously there's just new knowledge as far as that goes, and
that's so true. It seems unnatural to some people.
Definitely, and even with your friend who cut back on the meat, people don't realize meat can clog arteries. Not even arteries. Yes, arteries, 100%. But a lot of bodily processes, you're just shutting down. Yeah. So that's why he was losing weight, is because when he's clearing out all of these things, his food can digest. Yeah. Or and that's crazy. One thing that changes maybe his digestion, and that's why he lost weight. Yeah. Because he's not blocking everything within his body. Exactly. Literally just sitting there is crazy. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So you definitely felt like a completely new person ever since.
Completely.
Does anyone personally inspire you?
A couple of people. So at first when I was looking into veganism, I guess dabbling into it, I was still in the bikini world and competing. So there are two bikini people that I love. Nimai Delgado, he actually has a podcast called Generation V, and it is the best. So it's pretty much he talks about millennials going vegan. That's his niche, is to how to get us to go vegan, and there's just so much knowledge on that.
We start the train.
Exactly. To have everyone else that's coming through to hop on there. So I listen to him. He's great. He definitely inspires me within the vegan world. And then also his girlfriend, Bianca. And Bianca's amazing. She is this freaking bad butt woman. And she's great. And she actually used to compete, and she was very skinny. She has a similar story to me, and then she gained a lot of weight, and now she's showing women how to be confident in their bodies, and she's vegan. I mean, she freaking has vegan tattooed on her butt. You can see it when you look on Instagram. It's great. But she shows how you can be confident in your own skin, no matter what size and shape you are, and I'm obsessed with that, because she has a whole podcast, Badass Babes Radio, and she just talks about how to be confident. And that's amazing. And so with her and her boyfriend together, they just show how to be vegan and confident and feel good. They are 100% about internal health. They look amazing. They are ripped and all this, but they're not doing anything crazy. They're just eating their normal foods, whatever. But it's great. They have a lot of knowledge that they portray, very dummy proof, I guess you could say, which I like. I like things being dumbed down. I don't want to learn about veganism all scientific.
Yeah, because you don't want people just throwing these things at you and be like, wait, I don't understand.
Exactly.
What you said.
And you want to portray to people who are not even interested in that dumbed down version. That's how you get people to become interested. So that's what they do. But I would say those two people, honestly. And one more girl, I cannot think. Oh, Natalie Matthews. She's also in the competition world as well. And her husband actually went vegan. Her husband went vegan first because the doctor told him, your health is so bad
Yeah.
from eating so much meat. He said you need to make a change or you're going to die.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the guy was like, he's in his 30s.
Yeah.
And he was like, wait, I'm going to die. I'm in my 30s. No
Yeah,
way.
I'm young.
So he was researching just healthy alternatives, and he ended up going vegan. And then his wife went vegan. So now they're like this vegan couple powerhouse on social media, and they just portray veganism, and they do these taste tests with all these different vegan alternatives. So that's another cool thing to watch also. Just watch YouTube videos.
Yeah.
That's honestly, I'm a
You'd be
visual person.
You'd be surprised who you find and who you come across.
And who you relate to.
Yeah. And I know when I first met you and heard you speaking about being vegan, my boyfriend, he was talking about it, but we didn't know much about it. He was just trying to do a little research here and there, and he's also trying to change his family members and his immediate family, people in his home, to eat better. Same as here, in my home, we've been trying to eat a little healthier in my family, and we've been trying to encourage that. So it's definitely a good thing. I feel like if you have those resources, they're gonna get you good things.
You're gonna thrive.
So right now, your nutrition or meal plan consists of everything, mostly vegan.
100% vegan.
And what was the brand Infusion that you were talking about?
Vibe Infusion. So Vibe Infusion is the company that I work with.
Okay.
They're actually a protein bar company. So I just work with them. They're not 100% vegan, but some of their products are.
Okay.
So I take some of their products, not all of them. But pretty much their motto is infused with a purpose. So they're going to have each of our protein bars are infused differently. Our first product was an energy infused protein bar, all natural. The only thing in there that's not vegan is honey, but it's a plant-based bar as far as the protein. Most protein bars use whey protein, which also can cause cancer. So we use pea protein. So that's all of our proteins are based on with pea protein.
Yeah.
And then we also have right now our calming bar, our calm bar, and it promotes calmness. So you can take it before bed. It's amazing. Take it before bed, and it just relaxes your mind if you're someone who has anxiety or just overthinks or
has problems sleeping.
Yes, exactly.
Or anything like that.
It slows down your brain waves and it helps you. And then once you do fall asleep, you go into that deep REM sleep faster.
Wow.
So you get a harder night's sleep, which doesn't want a better night's sleep. Exactly. When you wake up, there's no drowsiness. You just feel more alert. And we're coming out with a lot of other bars. We're coming out with our beauty bar and our awake, which is a breakfast bar, coming out within the next month. And then within the next year, we're coming out with about 10 other bars. Wow. So
that sounds great.
Yes, a CBD bar, a dog bar, everything. Everything.
Yeah. So long term, do you see yourself pursuing this, and what else? Do you see yourself just trying to be as healthy as possible? What do you see for yourself?
So for me, yes, I want to be as healthy as possible. I would love to promote that through others. I mean, I do on social media to an extent. But right now I'm looking into getting a certification in vegan nutrition, or even going back to school for nutrition. Right now there are no vegan programs at all. And I really would love to do that. I personally don't want to go into a nutrition program that's a standard traditional American diet, because I don't want to sit down and hear someone say, you need meat to get your protein.
Right.
And I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh, this is not even what I want to know.
I hear people say that so much, and I try to tell them, this is not really true.
No.
You can get your protein in other ways.
And almost every vegetable has protein.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then also competing, I was told, so when I was competing, I was between 100 and 120 pounds. And let's say I'm 100 pounds. If you're 100 pounds, you eat 100 grams of protein a day, 1 gram per pound of body weight, which was a lot. Yeah. It was very hard to get my protein in every single day, and it was a struggle, and it was something that was constantly on my mind. You have to force yourself to eat. But new research within the past couple of months to a year has been coming out. You actually don't need that much protein. It's actually harming your body having that much protein. So you need less protein, and you need it from natural sources. I mean, chickpeas has 1 cup of chickpeas, 39 grams of protein. That's more than most meat. Yeah. And that's a bean. That's crazy.
Yeah. Chickpeas are not bad either. I tried them once for the first time when I was trying to get off a lot of certain foods, and they're really good.
You can make chickpeas into chicken. actually.
Really?
If you look up recipes, you can make it into chicken. Most vegan chicken is chickpea based, and if you make it the right way and prepare it, it actually does have the same consistency as chicken.
Wow.
Right now, my favorite meal that I'm eating is a tuna salad sandwich, quote unquote. I don't eat seafood. But, so what it is I mash up chickpeas, I put vegan mayo and sriracha, I mix it up, and it tastes like a tuna salad. Like, it's crazy. The consistency, taste, it's great. So I've been eating that every day.
It's literally a replacement for pretty much anything.
Anything.
Do you see yourself ever getting back into the fitness world or competing or anything?
Competing, no, just because it puts such a strain on your body. And if you want to be competitive and become a what it is an IFBB pro. That's when you are the top of the food chain. You are the professional bodybuilder. And if you want to do that, you have to be on steroids. If you're a female or you're a male, because the last competition I did, I placed 3rd place out of 60-something women, which seems amazing. Oh my gosh, I was so excited with myself. 3rd place out of 60-something women. But here's 3rd place me, and then 1st and 2nd.
Yeah.
They were so far on another planet because I wasn't taking any steroids. I was natural.
You were natural.
And those 2 girls were on 10 different steroids.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you're not on steroids and someone's on 10 different steroids, you're not going to compare to them. And that's my thing is personally, I don't care if you take steroids. I just don't want to. So if I want to be competitive, it's just not for me.
Yeah.
So right now they're coming out with vegan bodybuilding competitions though.
Okay.
Very new. They think they've only had 1 or 2. If that keeps on,
that
maybe I'll look into it because those people, they're not going to be able to take steroids. They get tested. And they get tested for eating animal products.
Oh, wow.
So if that's a thing, maybe I'll do that. I don't know. That could be really cool.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
So do you work out on a consistent basis still?
I do. So before I was working out 7 days a week, which I thought was normal, fine. But the workouts I was doing, you should not be working out 7 days a week. And I found that my body was just shutting down. So I cut back to 6 days a week. Still felt my body was just not recovering enough. So now I'm at 5 days a week, and honestly, my recovery time is amazing. I feel better. It depends on the person, honestly. I would say consistently try out maybe 1 day. Consistently try out 2 days, 3 days, and just stop when you feel at your optimal health. Yeah. Exactly, because sometimes I'll just work out 4 days a week. I feel amazing.
Yeah.
I don't have a set. If I didn't work out, let's say today, I have a busy schedule. If I don't work out today, oh well, I'll work out tomorrow. Yeah. Ask me a couple years ago though, I would cry. I have to work out. Yeah. And it was the end of the world for me because I just thought if I didn't work out every single day, I wasn't going to look my best. But now, with the more recovery time, I look even better than I was, and I was working out 7 days a week. So
I follow this girl that works out. She's been athletic and working out her whole life. And since you mentioned about when you were lifting how small you were, that made me think of her because like a lot of people follow her now. Like that's her whole brand. She's a fitness person. Okay. And she showed in the past how she felt she had to be smaller and just so small. And you could literally see like a good portion of her bones.
Oh my goodness,
all you could see was like more muscle and that was it. And she had to realize I realized I didn't look healthy and I wasn't 100% healthy. And she said I had to tell myself it's okay to let your body put on a little weight. And now she went from wearing like 115 pounds. Now she's like 130 pounds now. She's like 100 to 135. But she's like, I feel great. I can do things. She's like, I love myself. I love my body. I feel great. Definitely. And I can pick and choose when I want to work out. Now I get paid to do it. So this is my thing and I feel so much better about it. She's like, she's always been athletic, even as a kid, like her entire life, high school and everything like that. So she's like, so I naturally have been building muscle from a young age. Yeah, from a young age. So
you definitely also, when you are extremely into fitness, like she was, and so was I, you do gain body dysmorphia because when I had that 8-pack, at the time, I felt fat. Like I was saying, I felt ugly. I felt like I needed to do more cardio. I needed to do all of these things. And I look back, I looked disgusting. I was so skinny. You can see I was skin and bones. But if you would have asked me back then, I would have hated you because I was fat. Yeah. It's something in your mind, and it's just crazy. And it's also the opposite, because when I gained those 30 pounds, I didn't even want to leave my room. I was so depressed because I was disgusting. I was fat. And that's why I feel like internal health plays such an important role, because like I said, if you're feeling good inside, you feel good on the outside. Look good, feel good. Oh man.
I've heard a thing people say, they say you should not, when working out and trying to get your body to reach a certain goal, you should not constantly look in the mirror at yourself.
Yes.
And I find that so true, because you will constantly be looking at, is my body changing? Does I have this? Do I have that? Yeah. And you'll always kind of see what's wrong instead of being what's right. Hey, I can see that I've lost weight. I'm making progress. I'm doing well. I can feel the difference. You're like, oh no, I gotta get rid of this gut. Or,
exactly.
Oh no, my arms aren't toned enough. So it seems like it's always something.
You're nitpicking.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why also, as far as like mental health goes, every time in the morning I wake up, my first things that I do, I have a huge morning routine, but I sit down, I literally sit up. I grab my notebook, I write 3 things I'm grateful for, 3 things I love about myself, and 3 things that I need to work on. And honestly, if I didn't sit there and say, okay, only 3 things, before, I would have wrote 1,000 things I need to work on. And honestly, you can't do 1,000 things at once. Right. You need to focus on those little things. And I've made such a change focusing on the smaller things now, and just saying the things that I'm grateful for and I love about myself has boosted my confidence substantially. I feel like $1,000,000. You could tell me otherwise, I do not care, because I know inside I'm awesome. I love myself. It's been a long journey, and I love to say that because people are like, oh, she's conceited. Like, I spent years trying to love myself, and finally, after years of practice and putting in the work, I do. So I'm always telling women to do things like that. Even men are sometimes, I know a big thing for men, height. That's a random thing, but they're like, oh, I'm short and I'm not worthy because I'm short. Like, oh my goodness, stop.
You can't change your height.
No, you definitely can't. And you know what? Sitting there and making those things that you're grateful for really do show you there are things to be grateful for, even if you wake up and you feel crappy. Yeah. And there are always things to be grateful for, and there are always things that you do love about yourself. Because, like you said, you're going to go into the mirror if you wake up, wow, I don't like this about myself, I don't like that about myself. But if you're starting on that positive note, writing 3 things you love about yourself, it changes your whole entire day. Yeah. Your whole day. You feel better unintentionally. Yeah. So,
and more people now, I feel like that's why a lot of people are taking the healthy route, because people want to feel good about themselves. Definitely. They don't want to be self-cautious every time they get out of bed and try to put clothes on. You want to feel confident, and you definitely want to feel great, and you want to just have a good mood. When you feel crappy and you don't feel like I look the best, or I don't feel as good on the inside because I'm not eating proper food, then how can you be around people and be like just happy? You can't.
Your mood is just contagious. So if you
it's like
feel crappy about yourself
on the inside, it's like coming out to everybody else.
So take care of yourself first. And that's another thing too. I spent my whole life worrying about other people 24/7. And I realized after listening to entrepreneurs like Gary Vee, he's literally telling everyone to shut the hell up. Stop focusing on everyone else, because if you fill your cup first, you're going to fill it, that it's going to unintentionally overflow, and then it's going to literally spread to everyone else. If your cup is this full, what are you sharing with other people? There's nothing to share. You think you're sharing and you're not. So if you really do focus on yourself and you have that overflowingness, you can help everyone instead of just, I love that. That's a great, like, one of my favorite analogies.
Yeah, he has so many good things to tell you. It just makes you think
everything. Because when you're growing up too, it's like you want to take care of your family. That's a whole thing. I mean, if you're even remotely close to your family, that's what you're told to do. And I'm not saying that's bad, but there's other ways to go about it. Because I've helped my family substantially more now than I ever have. And before, I was focused on them. So you would think if you're focused on something, you're helping them more? No. When you focus on yourself, it really does help. And I was mean to people because I felt, like you said, felt disgusting inside, and I wasn't the nicest to people. Now that I feel better, I treat everyone better, I get further in life with that. But yeah, definitely, it affects everything,
Yeah.
whether you realize it or you don't.
I think that's true. And I've seen you do yoga as
Yes.
well. Have you just started that, or have you been doing that for a while as well?
So I, growing up, have had bad anxiety. What I used to do, honestly, my doctor prescribed a pill. I would take a pill. But then growing up, I'm starting to get into obviously veganism and holistic healing. And I told myself, I don't want to take a pill every day. I don't, at the time it seemed so normal because that's what you're told to do. That's how you cure things, is you take a pill. So now I started looking into alternative medicines and treatments and practices, and I don't take a pill anymore. Instead of taking my pill now, what I do is I do yoga. I take ashwagandha. I don't know if you're aware of what ashwagandha is. It's a plant-based pill, and what it is, it improves your mood, helps lower anxiety and stress, and it's an all-natural pill. So instead of taking this like hard anxiety pill, I'm taking this natural mood reliever pill, combined with yoga and CBD.
And yoga is actually pretty relaxing.
It is.
I've been getting into it, like me and my boyfriend, we've been getting into it because he started that for me as well. Like when my brother passed away, it just felt like, all right, everything else is just like, it's like so much going on. So on top of, as young adults, we're trying to build a future, a career, we're trying to make better decisions, we're trying to be productive every day. So he was just like, all right, we gotta find some type of stress relievers. You have to find a way to relax your mind, because if you keep all that inside your head every day and that's all you're thinking about, you're gonna go crazy.
Yes.
So we started looking into it, and we tried to make time for it, to do it as much as possible, and just spend like, whether it's 15 minutes, whether it's 20 minutes, just do it. And I find it's actually relaxing. Because you're not focused on everything else, you're focused
on one thing.
Yeah. You're sitting and you're like, okay, let me do this. And it really teaches you to relax your mind. I feel like a lot of people don't know how to just relax their mind.
Definitely. And at first, because I had so much anxiety, yoga was so hard for me.
Yeah.
I hated it. I forced myself to do it because I was told it works.
Yeah.
So I just so desperately wanted anything but a pill to work.
Yeah.
So I forced myself to do it for a long time, and I hated it. But as you do it, you do learn how to relax your mind.
Yeah.
I do yoga every Saturday morning at Grandview Public Market. They have it outside for free. Well, it's donation based.
Okay.
So, donate as much as you like. But it's amazing.
Yeah.
I go outside every Saturday morning, and it makes my whole week is this hour of outdoor yoga. You're just with the trees and with like-minded people, and her words of encouragement and calmingness really do get to you.
So there is like there's an instructor there that
goes through it.
Yeah.
Yes, and even at UFIT, we have yoga classes there.
Yeah.
Most gyms have yoga classes. Yeah. I like the more outside yoga.
I'm like that too now.
Yes.
I like to be outside. I don't know. I just personally feel when you're inside, I don't know if it's like you can't be as like free. Maybe I don't know.
No, I agree. And for me personally, most of my work is done from my home.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. But I need to be outside. I feel so cramped in my house sometimes that I make myself go on a walk or just do any outdoor activity, and that's why I'm obsessed with that yoga. It's because I know every Saturday morning I'm outside for an hour, I get to do my yoga, and it makes me feel amazing.
Yeah.
So
I think yoga is another good thing people should start.
Definitely.
Especially if you're like exercising. I try to encourage my family members who are going to the gym. I try to encourage them stretch from time to time.
Stretch, breathe,
relax, because your muscles and your body's going through a lot. I feel like that's another thing with when you're going a healthy route, whether it's yoga or the foods you eat or in the gym. It's definitely tough when you first start, and it's so easy to just be like, I don't like this and I don't want to do it. It's too hard. I'm in pain. Even with yoga,
definitely,
it starts off a little bit if your body's not flexible at all and your muscles are so tight. Yeah, it starts off as slight pain and then it gets better though. And you start. I tell my mom, I'm like, even now she'll ask me like, can you come help me stretch? But before she was like, I don't want to do this.
Or I don't need to do it.
Yeah. And now she feels like how her body feels different, and you don't feel as tense and tight. So she like asks me now to come help her stretch, and I'm like, look into yoga. And that way you can stretch more because I'm not professional and I only know so many techniques.
Yes.
So I started like look into yoga and I think you'll really like it. So I'm trying to look into it as well.
Definitely. And to kind of piggyback on what you were saying, as far as when you work out, you have that pain that comes along with it. If you ask any of the biggest bodybuilders in the world, the guys that look so manly, freaking massive, like 300, 400, 500 pounds, ask them what they do to recover their muscles. They're going to say yoga or they're going to say ballet. And you would think, this 400-pound guy of muscle, he does ballet. You know why? Because you're stretching and you're moving your body in ways that it needs to move, that you're not moving. When you're putting all that weight on your muscles, you need to take a step back and recover them.
You do.
So these big grown men are literally doing yoga and ballet, because a lot of men right now don't want to do those things because they're girly.
And they judge them when it actually has health benefits.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. You go and you look at those guys who are like the epitome of men. These guys, they are the men, and they do that. So that just really shows, I think, that if those guys do it, any guy can do it.
I think a lot of guys are starting to realize to let go of that this is girly thing.
The like gender role.
And just understand that everything has some type of benefit. It's not to make you seem girly, it's to help you. I've seen this guy, he's a weightlifter. I don't know his name. Q knows his name, he more so follows him. But he's really big. I think the guy's like 6'3" and he's like 350 pounds. Like all muscle. He's huge. But he's very flexible. He has no problem moving his body the way he would like, because he does that. He stretches and he does yoga on a consistent basis, and he actually lets his body go through those recovery things that he needs. And he's not just like, I only need the gym. He's like, no, you need everything else after for it to fully work.
For it to work. And also, which people don't realize too, when you're recovering your muscles like that, you can lift heavier. You can lift more. And I don't think people realize that circle of it helping the gym itself, because everything seems so one-sided, but it's really not. There's benefits to all the things that you do outside of the actual gym. So
I agree. People gotta get into being vegan,
or at least a couple alternatives,
even a little bit,
like
just a little bit,
a couple things,
something,
anything.
Working out, exercising, being active, some type of way.
Yes.
And what was the other? Oh, and some type of yoga, meditation, or stretching, formalities, or something.
Something for your mental. So
I tell people you can't just be physically fit. You gotta be mentally, emotionally, and I feel like when you work on the mental thing with the yoga and meditation, it helps you emotionally also. Definitely.
I agree 100%.
So you want to tell the people where they can find you on Instagram?
Yes. So on Instagram, I am at Cosette Rosati, COZYROSATI. And I have all of my different links, my beginner's guide to veganism on there. You can message me with any questions. I'll always answer them. And that's pretty much it. I'm just pretty much on Instagram.
Well, thank you for sitting with us today, explaining veganism and everything else to the people. Thanks. You'll have some people probably messaging you now because they probably want to get into it.
Love it.
And thank you for today. And we'll see you guys in the next video with our next special guest who will be promoting a type of brand of some sort.
Cool. Thank you.